Hi, and welcome to this week's episode of Funny Things That Happen to Real Estate Agents. I'm your host, Sam Staskell. And sorry you missed me last week. I'm sure you all missed me. But glad to be back this week with my guest, Jacquetta Ragland from South Carolina. I'll bring her on in just a minute. So let's get started. Okay, so let's bring on Jacquetta. Okay, welcome to the show, Jacquetta. Thanks for joining us. So tell me a little bit about yourself.
Sure. Well, first I want to say hello. Thank you so much for having me. Again, my name is Jacquetta Ragland. I was raised in Roanoke, Virginia, and I currently reside in Winston-Salem, North Carolina, which is just about 2 hours from Roanoke.
Okay.
I started in real estate. It was actually a passion of mine as a young person. I don't know. When all my friends was talking about hanging out and doing stuff, I was talking about real estate. I was talking about one day I'm going to buy houses. I remember saying it when I was about 18 or 19 years old, and I somehow found myself in the world of real estate. In a personal, I am married. Me and my husband have been married for 5 years now, and we have 3 children that reside at home with us. A 2-year-old, a 3-year-old, and a 15-year-old. Wow. Big gap.
I have that too.
Yes. So you understand, right?
Oh yeah, it's like starting all over.
So I'll be having one graduating, and I'll be putting the other in kindergarten. I don't know. Ask me questions, why.
That's me next year. My oldest will graduate high school, and my youngest will finally be in kindergarten.
Wow. Okay, so I have to come and get some tips and advice from you.
Oh, I'm not any good at it. I mean, I'm crazy. So, yeah. Did you get into real estate right out of high school, or did you have a different career? Or
actually, I did. I graduated high school, and then I took a year off to just kind of see what the world had to offer. And then I realized that you better have some kind of degree or something to compete in this world. So I went back to college, and I got my degree in business management. And then I worked for a corporate office for about 5 years. And what happened is that the office had shut down. It had been a rumor for years that it was shut down, and then it had shut down in Roanoke, Virginia. Right after that, I had kind of got started into real estate. So that kind of pushed me. While I was working, I was investing on my own. Okay. But when it shut down, that's when it had pushed me even more into wanting to invest more and become an agent.
So were you buying rental properties then for yourself?
I was.
Smart girl.
On my lunch break, I was out looking at houses. That's Everyone awesome. Was eating lunch together. I was looking at houses, putting in offers, texting my agent. So yeah.
So how old were you when you bought your first rental?
I was, oh my God, what a good question. Okay, so I was 23 when I bought my first house.
Oh my God.
Oh yeah. And then I was 3 years later when I moved into another house, and I turned that one into a rental.
Nice.
So I think I was
like smart girl.
27. Sure. Yeah. I had a good mentor. My pastor at the time, he gave me a lot of advice at a young age. He said, "Listen, you're making good money. You need to invest." And I listened to him.
That's good. I blow it. It's a weakness, but I'm afraid of like rental properties just because I've seen so many horror stories.
I got those too.
Oh, I'm sure you do. I mean, I'm just dealing with a local woman here in my town who I'm going to be listing her rental property, and her last tenants hadn't paid her for 7 months. They destroyed the place. I mean, destroyed the place. And I see it all the time, and it's sickening that people do this.
And people live like that.
Oh, that too, with kids.
Oh God.
Yeah,
but I mean, you showing houses, you see how people. It's like, it's definitely a risk.
Yeah, it is. I mean, yeah. You never know what you're gonna walk into, but I'm always like leery when somebody's like, "Can I see this rental place?" I'm like, you know, I just haven't had good experiences, you know. But you're smart to invest in it, though.
Yeah, it was. I don't know. I think when you're young, you don't think things through, which it can be a bad thing and a good thing sometimes. And so I was just kind of going forward. I didn't really sit back and say, okay, this can happen, that can happen,
Right.
this can happen. I was like, I'm just going to do it because I was young, and it was like, whatever happens, happens.
Right.
And
well,
it paid off.
A risk if it's just you, you know, like before you had kids, you owned a rental property, you know, you didn't have that extra burden.
Yeah, I had one at the time. I did have one.
Okay.
But not three.
Yeah. I went to a conference, it was like last year, and they said that in order to be smart in this business, you should have a rental property for every child that you have. So I'm 4 behind.
4, wow.
I'm 4 behind. I need 4 rental properties. Because they're like, in order to have that generational wealth and to, you know, like pay for college and everything else, you should have a rental property per kid. My luck is I would buy a rental property and then my kid would end up living in it and I wouldn't get paid for any of that shit.
See, that's the thing. You can't mix business with pleasure. So yeah.
All right. So let's talk about your funny story that you have to share.
Okay.
How long ago did this happen?
So this was me starting out as an agent. Okay. So here I go again, being naive, just kind of like, you know what? I'm hungry at the time, hungrier than I am right now, of course. And what happened is I had a guy call me up. I had a listing or advertisement, I think on Zillow. Mm-hmm. Don't tell anyone because I know how people.
Yeah, you're hated.
I was one. Yeah. Look, I was one. But anyway, so he called me, didn't provide, it wasn't much information that he gave to Zillow, because usually on Zillow, they kind of get the name, the number, they get a lot of information. Well, he didn't provide maybe first name. Right. And so he's like, hey, can you meet me at this house? Now, what you're supposed to do is get all of their information. You're supposed to ask for ID. And I hope whoever's watching this is taking notes because this is serious. But you're supposed to get yes. So you're supposed to get all the contact information. Like, even I was told you're supposed to get a copy of their license. But me, again, being hungry, I wanted to just show the house. I'm like, this could be a potential sale. So we get to the house and I'm like, hello, how are you? He's like, hey, all right. Nothing else. I'm like, so where you from? Oh, I'm just, I'm from around. I'm looking at the house. Didn't give me any quite valuable information.
Right.
Me, I'm a new agent, maybe like a year in, I'm a new agent. And so I'm showing around the house and I'm talking and I'm like, yeah, this is nice. And you could do this and you could do that. And he just was quiet looking through the house and didn't say not much to me. And it was just me and him there, me and him, bigger than me and everything. And I'm like, now that I look back, I'm like, what was you thinking? Like, why would you do that? You hear stories where people are getting attacked and this and this and that. So it wasn't funny then, but now that I look back, it was funny because I'm laughing at myself that I would do something like that and show him in the house. But I just found it funny that he didn't want to tell me anything. I don't know if he had another agent or whatever, but it was kind of my
fault. Did you get his whole name even?
No, I didn't get his whole name. It was just we were on a first name basis. You wouldn't even date somebody without knowing anything about them. So you shouldn't spend time showing them my house. But I was just trying to get the business, and I didn't hear from him again, of course. But it probably wasn't the best thing to do. But again, when you're hungry, you're trying to get business, you make some choices that you look back and say, listen, do better. And so I learned from that. I don't do that anymore. I'm more strict. Now I'm even asking, do you have will you pre-approve for a loan? So are you paying with cash? But it was definitely a learning opportunity for myself.
And I think we all go through that. I mean, I definitely have done that as well. Yeah, just show up. It's like I'll have their number or their name in my phone, and it's not even what their name is. I have a hard time hearing on the phone, so I'm wrong.
Yes, you so,
yeah, we all do it. Even though we all know better, but when you're in that moment, it's hard to remove yourself and say, okay, I need this, this, and this before I do this. You're just like, okay, I got it, because they don't want to spend a long time talking to you on the phone just to set the appointment, At least I feel that way. I feel that way. But maybe it's just me.
Yeah, but every other profession, they have to get information. You call a lawyer, you call an accountant, you call anybody. Dentist. But with agents, a dentist, right? A hair. Look, you want to go take a hair appointment? What you want done? Hair do you have?
How long is your number?
Right. But us, they're like, listen, I can you meet me at this time? Like, first of all, how are you? Right. But oh my God. And I mean, it's just listen, I feel like when you're an agent, you meet all type of people. Because a doctor, they're only going to get calls from people that know they need help. But an agent, you just get calls from everybody.
Right. They get a call from people that just want to look. They aren't even, in the process of buying a house. You find out later they're just looky-loos coming to look, which is annoying. To waste your time. It sucks.
We go through a lot. It takes a lot of patience. Like I had clients. I had another one. I had this lady that I showed multiple houses to, and she knew that I was an investor. And so the house got bought from under her, and she said, well, you must have bought the house. So she blamed me, and she felt that I bought the house. And so she didn't call me after that either, because she thought that I was like, I didn't buy this house. This wasn't me. So she felt that I came in and underbidded her, because it was like one of those online auction.com things.
Oh, yeah.
I'm like, oh my Lord. And it could be the most discouraging thing at times, but you just gotta have thick skin and
yes, exactly.
You gotta keep it moving. You gotta keep
roll with it. I mean, I've been very lucky that I haven't I've never been afraid of the people that I was meeting. I've never made such a bad decision that I show up and it's like, oh my God, I don't feel safe. I've never had that. Luckily, I'm glad. But I could see where it would easily happen, especially because I'm really super gullible. So really gullible. I always look for the best in people. So I trust that they're being honest, and I'm honest, so I just assume everybody else is honest, and I know that they're not. So someday that's probably gonna bite me, just thinking, let me go at this vacant house in the country. It'll be fine.
I overstand.
Yeah, but I have heard of people requiring them to send them a picture of their license.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's smart to do, because that way at least you have some kind of paper trail, and you can, if anything happens, someone can at least tap into your phone, track some things. So it's a wise thing. And it's good that we talk about these things to other agents, because you may have someone who has an appointment tomorrow that chimes in. And like, oh,
right. I also had posted about that too. She makes them request ID, which is smart. And as a new agent, especially new agents, should be made aware that yes, you should ask for some type of proof of identity. Something tangible that you have, so who you're meeting. But my kids track me on Life 360, and that's my. It's annoying at times because my daughter will stalk me when I'm at McDonald's drive-thru, and she'll send me her order.
Give me a McFlurry.
So it works for the good and the bad. I mean, it's great when I'm off showing house, she'll start messaging me if I've been there too long and say, are you okay? Are you okay? Which is super annoying. But I do appreciate it.
Yeah, but, that's a good idea, especially for an agent such as myself, where you don't have any weapons or anything to fight back. That is a good thing to have.
Yeah. So at least they know where my phone last was,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But and Carol says that she does conceal carry. which I have taken my class, but I don't carry currently. But you never know. Maybe tomorrow I will be. I ain't gonna tell. It'll be a surprise. And Teresa says, "Hell no! Don't go and show home without any proof of where you are." Yes, Mother Teresa.
It's true. I mean, this is a good conversation for us women. I mean, yeah, it's a good conversation for us women.
Yeah, and I'm constantly telling my kids, like, don't add anybody you don't know on social media. Don't get in a car with a stranger. Don't talk to strangers. And then there's me. Hi, how are you? Come on in.
Nice to meet you.
Oh, you want me to pick you up? Sure. I'll be there at 6.
And it's like we're everybody's friend. We're just automatic friends with people as soon as we meet them. And it's like, okay. Oh, wow. I love it. You're the best.
Yeah.
And they probably thinking the wrong person, like, oh, they love me so much. No, we love everybody.
Right. We're like a happy dog. We're so happy to see you,
Yeah, exactly. That's the description.
Yeah.
So like I said, it's a very great conversation to have. I mean, it's definitely funny because you can't believe that somebody would actually act like that. But on the flip side, it's like, wow, God was with me that day because who knew? Who knows? And my husband didn't have that. Yeah. So
let's talk about your rental properties. I'm sure you have some good stuff there. Like, what's the worst thing that's happened at your rental property?
You got time?
I got time. For you, I got time.
Okay, here we go. So I started out. I had a lot of firsts. All right, so I wanted to hurry up and rent the property. This is the very first one. Okay. Now I wanted to hurry up and rent the property out because I was moving into my new home. I did make a pretty good income at my job, but I still needed that other income. So I rented to the first people that came to see the house.
Okay.
I did not have the knowledge that I have today. Again, and that was back in 2013. So that was 8 years ago. I didn't have the knowledge that I have today because, I read a lot of different stories. I listen to podcasts where people are like, do not do that, do your due diligence. But I didn't have that knowledge. And so, I didn't have time. I worked a full-time job and I didn't really have time to vet people. So I wanted to hurry up and get it rented out. Well, this was the first tenant that came. They were Section 8. Nothing against Section 8, but they were Section 8. And at first that looked very attractive. But when they get jobs, they automatically cut their Section 8. And Section 8 can go from paying the full amount of rent to a third, to half, to a quarter, to nothing. And so this person would have up and down jobs. And one bad thing I didn't do is I didn't contact their previous reference. I just knew that they were in a hurry, and so was I. Someone being in a hurry is the most dangerous thing that you can do because it's like, why are you in a hurry? Are you running or what are you doing? You have some.
Are you thrown out? Yeah. You know where to go? Is your car packed?
Right. Is a landlord tired of you?
Right.
So impatience is a beast of its own. Anything. Yes. If you get married too soon.
Right.
If you rent too fast, if you try to hurry up and meet someone too fast, it's a beast in its own. So I was impatient. Well, they stayed with me for 5 years. They were late for their rent every month, except about 2 months, which was probably the first 2 months. We had to go to court. We had to have mediation because I didn't want to evict them. I think.
So you were actually involved. Nice landlord. You were a nice landlord.
Yeah.
We were trying to.
And they knew that I was the landlord. Yeah. Right. And I was younger. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I was younger, and they knew that I was their landlord. So it was like, oh, hey, girl, I'll pay you when I can, girl, type thing. And I kind of was too involved, and it bit me because they would pay late. I would have to contact them. At first, I had the utilities in my name, and they wouldn't pay the utility part. And so I did a lot of things wrong, and they messed up the house. So when they did move, we had to renovate from top to bottom. Wow. I'm talking thousands and thousands of dollars in it. And then I just sold it because it was in Roanoke. And so I didn't want properties back in Roanoke while I'm here. So what we're doing now with the rental properties, my husband and I, is unloading them, and we're going commercial. So we just purchased a commercial building in February. Nice. Yeah. So, and we're taking those rentals. And you know, funny thing is, my agent gave me this advice when we first shopped together. She was like, what you do is, and this is when I was in my early 20s, and this is when I was looking for my second rental property. She said, what you do is you get your rentals, and then you get rid of them and you go to commercial. And I remember her telling me that. And it stuck with me. And she's the one to sell all my properties. She helps me buy my properties. Of course, she couldn't help me buy it in North Carolina because she's an agent in Virginia. She's the best. And Lisa Martin, she's in Roanoke, Virginia. And but she did give me advice, even though I'm an agent, she gave me advice as an agent, and she also gave me advice on buying my property, my first commercial property here.
That's awesome.
So, yeah. So oh no. She actually inspired me to become an agent. So yeah. But yeah, so I've been buying rentals in Roanoke. Now we're unloading them, and I want to go bigger to commercial.
Well, you're unloading them at a good time, because now is like the best time ever to sell. So
let me tell you,
smart girl.
Let me tell you,
smart.
Oh, you are that smart.
So high. I'm just not a risk taker, you know. But I will be. I think about it all the time when I show a house. I'm like, God, I wonder if I could buy this, you know. But I'm not there yet.
Well, anything is possible. I just read a scripture today. With God, anything is possible. So, yeah.
It won't work. But you've done well then, and you're young. So this is like the best advice for anybody, is to start doing this when you're young and build that income. You know.
I agree. You know, learn from other people, but don't let what they went through put you in fear.
Right.
You know, don't let my story put you in fear. Yes, I've had some bad tenants, but take, like we say in ministry, take the meat, throw away the bones. Take away what you can and throw away everything else. You know, remember that, yes, I'm not going to just be impatient and get the first thing, but I'm going to learn from what the other people say, and I'm going to take a step. So
now your husband's a pastor, right?
Yes, he is.
And are you too?
I'm an elder.
Okay.
Like a minister. So I preach, and you know, I teach the word of God. He's the pastor. I'm his wife. So we do ministry.
But you're so much more. You're like, he's the pastor, I'm the wife.
Right. That's it. I'm just there.
That's good. So that means you're working in your community, you know, doing real estate, plus you're helping people through ministry. That's great. Great.
Thank you.
So do you have any final funny stories you want to share?
I would just definitely say, surround yourself with great people. That has been beneficial for me. And don't allow your circumstances, don't let your current situation be your final situation. You know, what I've learned and the different things I went through, it hasn't all been good. Like I said, that, you know, I've had the bad tenants. I've had the time where I wanted to give up. I've had the clients that will call me and say, oh, let's make an offer. And then they call me back and say, okay, did you make the offer? And I'm like, yeah, I did make the offer as soon as you signed. And like, well, please pull the offer. And I've had a lot of things to where, even being an agent, I said, I didn't want to do this anymore because people are just too fickle for me. But I did have, you know, my husband in the background saying, listen, just keep putting one foot before the other, keep trying, don't give up. And just, you know, just listening and taking advice and then making a decision to do something. At the end of the day, I think what has helped me, execution, not just learning and listening to everybody, but actually doing something has probably what has helped me. And just surrounding yourself with good people, you know, listening to good people.
And I think, you know, it took me a long time to heed that advice, to surround yourself with the right people. You know, I was just at a conference last week in Arizona, and it was a conference for women and especially moms in real estate. And it was all about you know, surrounding yourself with people that inspire you to be better. And I mean, and it was full of these wonderful women that were absolutely amazing. And it was very inspiring. And I don't think I always did that. You know, you always just kind of like, well, I work with this person, she's around, and I work with this person and she's around. It might not be necessarily the best people to surround yourself with for where you want to be, you know, like where you want to go. You know, sometimes it can be limiting and keep you where you are instead of letting you grow. You know,
exactly.
Not to say anybody's bad people. I'm not saying that at all. Like the women that were around weren't bad, but I need to surround myself with the people that inspire me to do better.
Exactly.
And I think that's a good lesson for anybody, especially in this business. You know, if you want to grow, surround yourself with like-minded people. And you'll get there, you know. So, well, thank you very much for coming on. It has been wonderful meeting you.
Thank
you.
I
wish you all the best luck in real estate and investing. I hope your commercial property goes well. I can imagine that'd be probably good tenants to have. I would hope that would pay their rent, you know, hopefully.
Yep. Different. I'm telling you what, it's a less feeling like, oh, you're going to get put out. Nope, that feeling isn't there because you're a business. So it's definitely different.
Good. But they can create bigger problems though. So just remember that.
I agree. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, there's ups and downs for everything. So I'm sure you'll do great because you got a good head on your shoulders and you know that going in. And yeah, it's pretty amazing. So thank you so much. I'm just going to pop you into the waiting room. Yeah. And I will be there.
Okay.
Thank you for coming. All right. That's it for tonight. Isn't she sweet? I just love her. Even though I can't pronounce her name very well, Jacquetta. I got it. All right. So that's it for this week. I hope you'll join me again next week. Again, we're live every Wednesday night on Facebook and YouTube at 7 p.m. Central Time. So if you are in real estate and you have a funny story that you would like to share, please reach out either to me on social media or you can send an email to funnythingsre@gmail.com. I'll see you next week. Maybe.